Good evening, guys. How are we? It's Gaz from Beastern Gaming. I want to try something a little bit different tonight. I actually felt like we should do some more different videos. So FIFA Friday is our main episode stream and I absolutely love it. So what I thought I'd do is I'd give you a quick rundown of the top 5 players that we've used this year and we absolutely love. I hope you enjoy, guys.
When the sun rises, I live my life like I'm a beast.
Okay, so this is number 1. The first one on the list for number 5 is Big Rio. Rio Ferdinand coming in at 6'2", 3-star weak foot and 3-star skill moves. He has played a whopping 587 games for us now, so he has been an absolute solid contender. He has been, let me just have a quick look at here. So you've got obviously his acceleration and sprint speed is massive in this game. It's so important. Unfortunately, they can't get away from that. Decent passing at 83, reactions 86, composure 93. I mean, he's a centre back, man. Come on. This guy is an absolute weapon. He really is. His defensive stats are absolutely unreal, out of this world, as is his physical. Really, the ones that matter are the aggression, the strength and the stamina, and the jumping's not too shabby for 6'2". This guy scored a decent amount of goals and he's just been an absolute all-round weapon. I would highly recommend him, guys. I know it's getting towards the end, but if you can, just get him on your team. Coming in number 2, we have Roberto Carlos. Very small compared to Rio Ferdinand, I appreciate, but an absolute pocket rocket. Now, this guy is insane. All-round stats have been fantastic. I don't know if he's overly popular with other YouTubers and other players who do champs and what have you, but we haven't done that as much this year. But Roberto Carlos has been fantastic for us. An all-round amazing player. Thoroughly enjoyed having him in our team. He did replace Jordi Alba, so he had big shoes to fill. Well, not literally big shoes because he's tiny too, but you get what I'm saying. He really did have to sort of come in and pull out all the stops, and his card just speaks for itself, really. He could be part of the Gullet gang, if you all remember that from FIFA 14, I think it was. So all his stats over 80. He is just an absolutely fantastic player. There's no doubt about it. And so I think he is more than worthy of filling our number 2 spot. And that's number 2, guys. And coming in number 3, a well-worthy winner for number 3, that is Patrick Vieira. Now this guy, we've only had him 56 games, you haven't had him too long, but he is an absolute machine. A lot of other people will probably tell you exactly the same. His stats, again, outstanding, and he really is the perfect CDM. I mean, standing in at 6'4" with medium-high work rates, he is just an absolute machine. I can't praise him enough. He's even scored a decent goal for us back when it's really needed, and the way he breaks play up and absolutely stomps all over players is just incredible. He really can sort of tackle from absolutely nowhere, and his legs just seem to extend like some sort of Inspector Gadget stuff going on. He's a really good player. He's been one of my favourite CDMs to use, which is saying a great deal because we've used Petit and Rijkaard as well, which are both still in the team, and they are fantastic. But Patrick Vieira for me is by far the best CDM we have ever used. And coming in at number 4, absolutely no surprises here whatsoever. There's nothing to really be said. He is absolutely insane. He makes the others look quite honestly average. Rude Hullet Prime version. Again, haven't had him too long. How many games? We see 113 games. He's got 79 goals and 63 assists. Bearing in mind we did play him as a centre mid for quite a while when we had Del Piero up top, so that's why his goal to game aren't quite as good as they are, but that has jumped up leaps and bounds. This guy can take shots from anywhere on the pitch. He can take a long shot, he can take any goals that he can just put in, slot into the bottom corner from inside the box. The man is an absolute weapon. I would highly recommend him for any team at all. It does help that he obviously does cost about like 1.6 million or something to make, but you can see why his prices are so high. I think David Mailer once described him as a cheat code, and I can totally get that. He is just unreal, and it is literally like having a cheat code on the game. He completely lives up to the way he was in real life, and unfortunately I'm too young to really remember him playing, but I imagine if he was anything like this card, I can see why he's certainly an icon. So that wraps up number 4, guys. Last but not least is Thierry Henry. Now I wanted to do 2 defenders, 2 midfielders, and then a striker just to finish. as we play with the 4-1-2-1-2, 2 strikers up top, then obviously it's going to be a little bit more balanced. I can't do him and Crespo, so for me it's Thierry Henry all day long. I know players have used him for absolutely months now, going back to the beginning of the game. We unfortunately weren't quick enough to get him at that sort of time, and we've only played 76 games, but with a goal return of 102 and 82 assists, I think he's quite arguably one of the best strikers we have easily used. Unfortunately, we haven't had the chance to use R9 Prime, but that's just too much money for us and we really can't afford that. So we had to settle with Henry, which is not exactly slumming it. His stats, again, absolutely insane. His pace, he feels just as quick as that on the game, in my opinion. Never seems to run out of stamina, as 88 would suggest. His finishing, I would say, is 100% correct. I would actually go as far as saying that his long shots feel a little bit better than 87, but that's not exactly anything to really sniff at. Never taken a penalty with him, so that doesn't really matter. And everything about him is just absolutely insane. He's scored some decent headers for us, because I mean the guy's 6'2". The only thing I'd say that perhaps lets him down maybe a little bit is his work rate being medium. But when me and Lewy are playing alongside each other, there's always one of us controlling him, so he goes exactly where we want him to. He's scored some insane goals, and there you'll see that most of the goals in the games that we include in our channel actually do include Henry. So if you want to see any of the goals and anything like that, guys, then just give him a check out. Right, that was it, guys. That was my top 5 icons that we've used this year. We're very, very fortunate that we've still got them all here. I would just like to make an honourable mention to Alan Shearer. Now, we haven't got his card anymore, and we did trade him in, but we did trade him in for good reasons. So it's one of those things. We got Henry for him. He's not a very popular player, Shearer, on the game. Not a lot of people use him, but he was a real servant for us. We've got pictures of him and all the stats he had with us. So that just goes to show how good he was. Excuse me. So Alan Shearer for me was the honourable mention. I couldn't leave him out of this list, but it is a top 5 and that makes it 6. My maths is quite good. So we did just thought I would mention him. I do think he was fantastic and I do miss him a little bit as well. If we could have 12 players on the pitch, it would be nice to just include him in there with the top 2. But other than that, unfortunately, he just didn't fit where we were at anymore. He wasn't quite at the same level. So it was unfortunate we had to get rid of him, but that's the way it is. So I hope you enjoyed our top 5. Obviously this is just a little snippet on the side to complement our FIFA Friday. So obviously we are on Twitch every single Friday from 7 PM until very late. If you want to come on and jump on there and catch us, ask us any questions about it. If you have got any other questions in the meantime, then just leave them in the comments below. Obviously hit that like button if you did enjoy this video, and also hit the subscribe button. If there's anything you'd like to see us going forward, we will be doing some FIFA 19, so just give us a shout and we can do that for you. Alright guys, you take care of yourselves now, and I'll see you on a Friday night. Cheers.